Hello everyone, this is the noobifier. On the 9th of February 2024, there was an hour-long Star Citizen Live Meet the Devs, Corporate and Publishing Technology. Here's what you need to know. Jared began by being slightly distracted, and he said that Chris Roberts had messaged him at the beginning of the show with regards to a missing blender. Whatever. He then introduced three team members from the Austin office, John, Mike, and Hamed. These US team members were in the UK for a summit, so the opportunity was taken to have them on the show. These are executive members of CIG. John is head of publishing and had been with CIG since 2013. John is all about anything that has to do with pushing the builds. Testing is done, checks are done, and this is part of John. John looks after live QA processes, and that team is devoted to customers who might have questions about store purchases. John will also liaise directly with members from the team in Montreal, as there is and have been some slight crossover in tasks. Hamed takes the game builds and pushes this to us. He's personally shipped everything since patch 1.12, which is crazy. I remember playing 0.9, but that's a long time ago. Not only is the digital part of this, but managing the physical hardware that allows the game to go live. He commented that launching entity streaming is a fun challenge, and he closed out by saying that some of the builds last days and some of them need to last for months. Mike is specifically dedicated to managing IT and hardware. IT makes sure that the team has the gear that they need, and hardware is more focused on the back end. Mike is also responsible for any hardware that needs to be installed at various shows such as CitizenCon. Jared asked for more detail, and Mike elaborated that this is the storage, interconnectivity, communications, and licenses that are required to keep all operations within the company going. And this is making sure that the proper licenses are in place and paid for, and making sure that firmware is always up to date. And remember, the range of the software and the tools that would need to be across this creative staff. The 3D software, the internal tools, I would imagine things like Microsoft Office, the Adobe Suite, and that's for like 1,000 people, so that's a pretty big job. Mike confirmed that his team has grown, but he did reminisce in the early days where he was basically the guy that wired the entire CitizenCon show. More recently, Mike spoke about a huge achievement that was done for this year's show, which was to take the current build, replicating it onto a portable appliance, and then connecting that appliance to over 100 systems that were at the show, such that the systems didn't even know that they were connected to something else, which is pretty cool considering there was also an 8-hour teardown to vacate the venue. And we know this, Meet the Devs is focused on the individuals of the show. Despite it being interesting, the next little bit didn't really have much to do with Star Citizen, except for a highlight that came up, which was that CIG is the Amazon customer who moved and moves the most data daily globally. And if you really want to hear about the nitty-gritty stories, please watch the back half of the show once it's published to YouTube. That's it. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Fly safe, and I'll see you in the verse.